The collective I'm reading for put a lot of pressure on themselves, and there's a really speedy nature to the way that you think. You're always ahead of yourself with the idea of where you want to be in terms of your talents and your dreams. Even in terms of, for example, if you're a musician, your fingers can't play as fast as your mind produces a tune. And this can be really frustrating. And I believe that for this particular group of individuals, there's a very different approach to manifestation that is required. Because you are prone to doubt, second guessing yourself, and moving beyond an idea before it's even manifested. Say you have this passionate rocket launch of desire and you want to start a project, and then you burn yourself out because you put so much pressure on getting it done or getting it right that in the end you don't feel passionate about it anymore. Or maybe you do force yourself to complete it, but by the time it's done, you don't feel that initial spark around it anymore, and it's hard to get it off the ground, or you've already got a new idea for a different project. There's a lot of mental energy and a lot of timeline hopping. You might be a person that is really aware of a multitude of potential timelines in any one moment, and this causes you to find it difficult to set your sights on long-term sustainable outcomes. And maybe that causes you to really crave them as well. Like you wish you could have that long-term stability like other people, but you notice that you're this shape-shifting kind of energy. So there's this boom and bust feeling about your energy, maybe a season of wanting to be really, really public and seen and launch some big project, and then a questioning and a sense of burnout and isolation where you pull back and maybe you even regret everything that you've put out in the world because you've grown and now you're different and you don't identify with that previous character. For people like you, there's a specific, different approach to manifestation, and it really requires you to settle into a long-term structural routine. And I'm going to talk about that. I keep hearing the word elaborate. Elaborate on your passions. This is a message for people who are doubting their purpose or their capacity to manifest stability for themselves through their purpose. I'm seeing the sacral chakra lighting up and pulsing with information. And I'm being encouraged to articulate a couple of things about the nature of manifestation. There's a practical aspect of manifestation theory that doesn't get spoken about so much. Often we think of mantras and using our minds and almost forcing ourselves to be in this positive emotional and mental state at all times. And particularly if you're a woman and you're affected by the moon cycles and your own body's menstrual cycle, this can be very discouraging. It can almost lend itself to a subconscious urgency or a sense of fear. Something that is much more long-term sustainable is the understanding that manifestation is simply the growth of a signal. So any action that you put your focus on and you continue to repeat, so long as it is aligned with what you want to do, that being there's no resistance behind it or ulterior motive for why you're doing this thing, you will be able to cultivate momentum around it so that it continues to grow. Any action that you repeat with consistency will continue to grow and attract more of itself. It's like a plant that generates growth because it knows what it is. The question you're being asked is, what are you capable of doing every single day and still feeling vibrant and passionate about it? Really sit with this question. If you had to do the same thing every day, what would be the parameters for that? Would it be you can only do this thing for 5 minutes before tiring? Would it be that you need to be paid a certain amount of money to feel the right amount of passion to do it every day? This gives you an idea of how to set your prices and your structure. In one of my earlier readings, I talked about the masculine and how producing a structure will support you and prevent you from feeling anxious or losing your way in terms of manifestation. Decide what you can do every single day and what's repeatable and what won't make you feel trapped, because a signal, right? Repeated action that allows itself to manifest into growth and form. It's kind of like being a slave, and you want to be a slave to something good. Slave isn't the greatest word to use, but it's this idea that you're laying down your energy for something. And so most people have something in their life that they are willing to lay down their energy for. For instance, me doing these readings, I set the parameter that I want them to be 15 minutes long. I don't want to show my face because that blurs the signal and creates multiple storylines about my intention for doing this. I felt that the clearest, cleanest way for me to produce a signal was to sit down every morning and to make this a ritual that's part of my routine. So a 15-minute reading that I am easily capable of repeating every single day. And because it's an improvised, fresh energy in each day, it doesn't tire me. It's always exciting, and I'm always going to learn something from the new energy that enters the reading. So that's an example for you to think about. How could you apply that kind of consistency and structure into your life in a way that doesn't make you feel like you're engaging in some kind of overt labor? The next message that Spirit really wants to pass over to you is to believe in what you are passionate about. It's more than just believing in yourself. It's this image of the sacral that I was seeing earlier as an orb that keeps growing and pulsing, and it's full of complexity and wonder. Any one activity that you feel truly passionate about is well worth your focus and your time. There's a sense that you've been questioning whether this thing you like to do, whether that's writing or acting or dancing or something incredibly niche, a hobby or a skill that you'd like to focus on, perhaps as your vocation, there's some doubt around whether there really is a crowd for that. Or you're wondering, who am I to be the person that chooses to do this thing? Spirit is showing me an unraveling string that gets longer and longer and longer. And the longer it gets, there's a sense that me as the viewer of this piece of string has a stronger understanding of the essence of this string, the string's soul and character, because I'm seeing more of it and it's unraveling more and more. It's the same with the production of this activity that you may doubt the value of or the worth of pouring your time into. Spirit wants you to focus on this activity, again, in a measured and repeatable way. Maybe it's literally 5 minutes a day. The amount that you can handle where it doesn't burn you out, and continue to produce from a new state in your heart space every time you approach this activity. Spirit is showing me that if you do this every day, you will start to see yourself in the product. You will start to see your essence and your soul, and it will unfold for you such that your creativity continues to blossom. One of the classic rules of energetics is that if you create something, the universe will give you more ideas. If you hold on tightly to your ideas and you're too afraid to share them or too afraid to engage in the activity, say you're an artist and you're sitting with this painting that you have been working on for 2 months, and because you're being a perfectionist with it, you don't feel like sitting down to finish this painting. Whereas if you took it a little less seriously and realized that it was a deep part of your natural expression and that this expression is really nourishing for you, you would be able to cultivate endless paintings. And over the course of 2 months, where you approach the activity with less force and pressure, you would gain so much more skill, so many more ideas and techniques than you would have sitting down and perfectly trying to create this one single painting against your creative will. There's nothing perfect about spirit. It's ever-changing, always growing, amorphous, and relentless in its giving nature when it comes to creativity. So it's time for you to tap into that flow and really take yourself seriously with regards to this passionate pursuit of yours. And in doing this act repeatedly, you will start to feel viscerally why it is valuable, why it is important, and why other people might be interested in engaging with it. This is the healthiest way to manifest. And it's anti-emotional, and it doesn't require you to continually be stable. All you have to do is be practical, which everybody has time for. Everyone has 5 minutes to spare. So take it in small steps. Slow and steady wins the race. And create a list of qualities that you are able to repeat every single day without burning out. It can even be super abstract. And this will allow you to maintain stability despite your varying moods and changing personas over time. Because what you really want is a body of work that you can look back on, and then you can start to see the thread of who you are, that string and the soul of the string. So that's your reading for today. Thanks for being here with me. Like, subscribe, comment, and be brave. I'll see you in the next one.